Hey guys, welcome in. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. My name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie. You can find all of my information below in the description box if you'd like to book a personal reading more aligned with your personal story. I actually recorded a general reading last week and I decided not to post it because the energy was like, last week, I don't know about you guys, but last week had some real heavy energy, and I think it's because we were leaning into or leading up into this eclipse energy that we had between last night and today. So I think a lot of us were like transmuting energy, but it has been really heavy for the collective, just in general terms. So I decided to pull some cards today. I'm going to try a second reading. We'll see how it goes. I've been kind of tugging on some oracles just to kind of get a read of what was going on. The energy feels a little bit better. The cards have more like a more positive feeling to it, I guess. So let's just jump into it because I haven't shuffled any cards. I haven't really done anything other than lay these oracles and kind of meditate in the energy for a little bit. So the first cards out, we have masks. Start living in your truth. No more hiding. Time. Remain mindful of time and divine timing. Contrast. There are different takes on this world. It's meant to serve a larger meaning. So collectively, we all have a bunch of different transitions that we're going through. I did get a sense that there may have been things that were maybe thrown on your path or presented to you as a means to maybe confuse you or keep you stagnant. It may have caused you a little bit of confusion. You are being guided to kind of like throw away what you know, like throw away the old methods of things that would have normally worked. Free yourself from those chains in order to embrace new opportunities, new ways of thinking. Trying to clear the fog out of your head in order for you to see the path forward. Staying away from games and lies and manipulative tactics in order to remain truthful to yourself and true to your own path. Be mindful of codependency and enmeshment. Set clear boundaries for yourself and heal the ties that keep you bound to unhealthy connections. And free yourself. Release the situations that make you feel like a hostage, because that is definitely what we don't want, right? All right, so let's take a look at what's going on with this Mercury retrograde and eclipse energy. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on. Ancestors, elders, guides, align me with the energy space of the collective, please. Push forward messages necessary for their greatest and highest good at this time. Allow me to interpret the messages in a way that's most beneficial to them. Thank you for your divine guidance always. All right. What is the current collective energy? This is not sign specific. Take what resonates and throw the rest out. Okay, it may not resonate for everyone. Take what you need. Current collective energy. I feel like many of you have experienced some deep heart wounds, right? There may be separation. You may be in separation with people or someone specific. I feel as though you may have had to heal on your own. Many of you may be healing on your own. And at the same time, many of you have decided to release the pain of what you felt before. The pain that you may have carried around, you may have just decided to let it go. You may be kind of overcoming your fears as they relate to, or as they relate to your stability or what you deem as stable. You may be leaning more into your faith. Some of you may be choosing to go back to school. Some may be leaning into their divinity. This is more about like having hope and faith. Kind of moving forward despite not knowing what's on the other side, having faith. Thank you. Okay. What lessons of Mercury retrograde are being presented? Past Mercury retrograde energies that are being presented. Okay. So this could relate, this absolutely could have something to do with a family dynamic. For some, it will be a family dynamic. You could be dealing with somebody who's like super jealous. They're jealous, but they're behind the scenes. So they're not, you know, it might not be like overt in your face, right? But as energy, like if this is a person, and I don't generally look at the court cards as people, but if this was a person, this is somebody who's like super jealous. This could be somebody who's jealous of your home life. I see a lot. This is like a really loaded line right here. So I kind of feel like past energies, this is like understanding or releasing, realizing that you cannot work with someone, and or releasing the idea that you need to be seeing something eye to eye. Because I kind of feel like in the past, whoever this is, if this, because I see two people here. So I kind of feel like one is on the upside, like one is, you know, high vibe, you know, positive, new, you know, you may be having an opportunity to move towards a new opportunity, move towards new jobs. This could be a new job. This could be a new home life. This could be a new home. This could be a new beginning. You have an opportunity, right? But in order for you to take hold of this opportunity, there's something that you need to release. There is something here that there's two individuals possibly that are not seeing eye to eye, which makes the union or partnership or whatever this is, it makes it unable to move forward. There is no movement. You may be releasing something that does not promote any growth or change. You may be choosing at this point to release a burden that is not yours to carry. And that definitely would have something to do if you're dealing with somebody who maybe lacks some type of integrity or self-worth. It's like if you're dealing with somebody who lacks integrity and self-worth, there's nothing that you can do or say that's going to make them feel any better about themselves. So that's really not your plate. This is about really understanding what's going to make you happy and going towards that. What's your subconscious fear? Hi. Take it. Okay. Well, Wow. Subconscious fear. So I kind of am getting this like old life, new life thing, right? You have an opportunity. You may be at a crossroad here. So a lot of the collective, we're all in this space where, you know, we're like on the precipice of a new cycle, right? We've closed out old cycles, closing out karmic cycles and whatnot. And I think a lot of the hesitation for a lot of people is the execution. You know that it's time to sever ties or, you know, depart. And it's the execution part that people are struggling with right now. Because I definitely see where you want to move away from it. Six of Swords. You're like, I'm like looking at the rainbow in the Six of Swords and the rainbow in the Ten of Cups. You're like, I want to move away from all of this shit and I want to go towards my happy, right? Because clearly there is no growth with this person or situation. There's no growth with the situation here. This person also, if you're dealing with somebody who's like really jealous and lacks integrity, this person lies. There's lies right in the middle. So obviously, no, you cannot invest or grow a situation when you're dealing with somebody who just tells lies. Right? And it kind of feels like I feel like, okay, I see two things. So yes, I guess there were two things, like old life, new life, right? And I feel like you're waiting for the new life. You're waiting for the new cycle. And part of the fear is that you've done all of this work for nothing. I hope that lands. Because that's what it feels like. It's like, I hope I didn't do all of this work, all of this healing that I've had to do. I hope I didn't do all of this for nothing, to gain nothing out of it. Because you're still waiting for it. All right. What are the outside challenges to overcome? Outside challenges to overcome. Okay. All right. Well, at least, yeah, I like that. Okay. So, an external challenge that you need to overcome. You do have an opportunity. There is this new beginning here. Okay. There is a new opportunity. This could potentially lead to love. It could be a new opportunity that could lead to emotional fulfillment and happiness. Right. I kind of feel like part of the challenges that you need to overcome stem from needing to release, because on one hand, you're still old life, new life, you know, maintaining certain connections or whatever, still holding those. Interesting. I'm looking at the position of her hands. I feel like still holding certain relationships and situations in a higher value. You spend more time focusing on this old thing versus the new life that you're trying to create for yourself. So part of the challenge, I feel like, is also releasing the energy that I kind of don't feel like you have anything left to give anymore. I honestly don't feel that. I don't feel like you have to put in hard work. You should not, like, love shouldn't have to work that hard for love, okay? I'm also getting here that you may have been dealing with a situation where there have been lies and you simply want to move. I just get this energy. You just want to move away from the lies and the bullshit. But I think that last little bit of energy where you at one point may have still had the desire to put effort in or to fight for something. I feel like, I mean, honestly, it's kind of funny because I don't view these necessarily as difficulties. I feel like this is a recognition of, I don't want to fight for this anymore. I'm not going to lie to myself anymore. I'm no longer going to be holding on to these grudges. I'm not going to, because you recognize the imbalance. You recognize where there was a situation where it may have been overgiving, and the person that was just, you were giving to was just taking. You're no longer holding on to the resentment that you may have carried. Because it doesn't serve you, right? When you hold on to that energy, it just keeps you energetically tied to that situation or that person or whatever, you know, is tied up in your mind that gets you, you know, kind of wound up. Your desire really is to move away from it. But again, part of the fear is, you know, doing all this work and getting nothing out of it and not getting your just dues. I promise you that's not what's going to happen. What's the potential energy that's approaching? Potential energy that's approaching. How many times do I need to say you cannot work with this person? Yeah, I think you've kind of come up with I think you've come to terms. Yeah. Okay. The universe is absolutely trying to balance the situation out. There is somebody, some situation that you absolutely cannot work with. You cannot work with it. There is no harmony. There is no coming together. There is no growth. There is no inspiration. There is no passion. Which is interesting because your stability is here. The stability is here, but it's not where maybe you thought it was. Because this new opportunity or new cycle will absolutely lead to long-term stability. A new cycle is here. It's starting. Judgment also talks about kind of a coming to terms with things. Coming to terms, an acceptance. It's also an acceptance, right? An acceptance that you may have been dealing with somebody who, you know, wow, I'm looking at it a different way now. It's like kind of like accepting the fact that maybe lies in the past had kept you stuck, and releasing that. Releasing, you know, even could be releasing judgment as well. You know, but the Judgment card it's a card of karma. It is a card of karma, but it's like the Judgment card is, you know, we're looking at the trash on both sides of the street. We're looking at, you know, all your bullshit. We're gonna look at all of my bullshit. You know, you can literally fist bump and walk away, or you can agree to go into a new, you could agree to go into a new cycle. I love how these cards line up. Judgment, Ace of Cups, Three of Wands, Empress. You could absolutely fist bump and go into a new cycle, but this time you go into this new cycle with full awareness, you know, and the ability to see the red flags before they start waving, right? And if you see red flags, then obviously, yeah, you cut it off at the knees. But in the meantime, should you choose, those of you who choose to go back into a new cycle with this person or people, whatever, it's up to you. Don't lie to yourself, right? Be very aware of what you're getting yourself into. There are two situations that you may be dealing with. One leads to, yes, absolute stability, and the other not so much. Okay. What's the lesson here? What's the lesson? Wow. Wow. Okay. Now, part of the lesson is also having to do with recognizing your role in the situation. It also it's about understanding the toxic nature of the connection, the codependent, realizing and recognizing your own toxic characteristics or behaviors. Because when the devil shows up, for me, in order for the devil to even be in play, both parties got to play the game, right? That toxicity doesn't actually exist in a relationship unless both parties are playing. So for me, this is like moving on from recognizing, here it is, it's like recognizing the toxic attachment and being able to move on from it, no longer like not focusing on the past, not looking too far out into the future, you know, taking a leap of faith, right? But understanding what you can no longer put work into, understanding what is no longer working for you, and moving on from energies that made you feel as though you had to compete, or if you're still feeling in the sense, if you are in that energy of feeling lack, if you are still in the energy of lack, right? If you are still in the energy of lack, it's up to you to shift your perspective in order to shift that. You're not a victim here. But this absolutely talks about recognizing your role in the situation. You may have come back, or something may have circled back. Okay, hold on. So something circled back. Ooh, so something circled back because they were feeling the sense of your absence, like your absence was missed, or there was distance there. That distance was felt. Ooh, child, I see a whole lot right here. So maybe there was a situation that within a family dynamic where there was distance. The distance is felt, but literally, like, this is like saying, if this has happened in the past, like, you're supposed to not go back, keep going. Invest elsewhere. All right. What's the best course of action? Actually, no. What needs to be released? Let's talk about that. What needs to be released? What needs to be released? I definitely see where there's somebody here who feels they may be waiting for you. Okay, I'm seeing a whole bunch of different messages. So you may have somebody who might be waiting for you to come back. They may be salty because you haven't taken action. Could be somebody, could be a father figure, could be this is like a masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a man, but it's masculine energy. Definitely could be somebody that you're related to. So they may have been waiting for you to come back, or maybe waiting for some type of action they may have been waiting for you to take some type of action, and they're feeling kind of salty because you haven't done so. So now they're missing your presence. Yeah, this is like you may have been dealing with somebody who in the beginning didn't have any kind of integrity, who wasn't investing any kind of real time. Now they want to come back and offer you a new beginning, or try to, you know, come back with a proposal to a new start in hopes that you'd come back, because maybe they find their stability with you. This is like release, can't work with you, just want to go away. This is lies, this is judgment, and the devil. What's the best course of action? Damn. Damn. Yeah. Okay, so again, I go back to the whole execution thing, as I said at the very, very beginning, because these three cards are all about stagnation. This is all about indecisiveness. You know, you want expansion. You need to see, you're trying to seek expansion. You want more for yourself, but you're still not taking action. There's still something here that you're, and this for me, I'm not even looking at it across anymore. I'm kind of looking at it, the line that it's here. You're not taking any action to come back or go back to wherever you, if you extracted yourself from a situation, you are not taking action to go back. I'm gonna say that first, because that's what I see. If you walked away from a situation, particularly if it was a family dynamic, if you walked away, I don't see you taking action to come back. I feel like you're just doing nothing. I also feel as though you're being guided to just allow a cycle to close out. The world. You've already learned the lesson. The world is here. You've already learned the lesson. You've learned, I mean, when I see this card, I tell this every time I use this deck, when this card comes out, like, you've matured. You are the older woman. You are the big tree. You are no longer the little boy in the little tree. You've outgrown something, someone, and now it's time for the cycle to close out in order for you to move into the next and step into your divinity, step into your throne. Baby, I got, in this whole line right here, I've got the Emperor and the Empress. You've got these new beginnings that are like right here, but you've got to, you know, take the initiative to move forward. Yeah. You have everything you need. Magician, the Strength in reverse. You're afraid. There may be some fear here. Something is coming to a bitter end. You're afraid that something's going to come to a bitter, harsh end. May have been breathing life. You may have been breathing life into a relationship that was kind of one-sided or dead. And maybe you're coming to see that. You're coming into that reality. You're starting to see that. And somebody is watching you. Somebody is upset. Okay, so this is another message. You may even have somebody who's upset. Like, okay, so you were, say you had two really solid relationships in your life, right? Like, it could be anybody. I'm not going to speculate. Say you got two really solid ass relationships, right? But the one that you've been breathing life into was dead. It was dead. You were breathing life into the wrong one. You may have been breathing life into the wrong relationship or wrong foundational situation, and now you recognize that, right? And then once you recognize that you were giving to this, you know, funky relationship that was one-sided, once you realize that, I feel like the other person or people involved became very disgruntled, we'll say, for lack of a better word. I'm getting catty. Like catty. I feel like somebody's maybe a little pissy too, because they see more options or opportunities opening up for you, and they're watching you. Somebody's watching you. I also feel like you've released, yeah. It comes with the release. So whoever this is that may be watching you, you may have released like energetically, you may have already released it. In terms of any kind of sadness and disappointment, I feel like you're kind of letting that go. There's also maybe the realization too that the connection that you were, trying to foster or grow was emotionally unsupportive to you anyway. So whatever tower happens because of it, yeah, somebody was trying to keep you stuck. Ooh, and you see the truth now. Damn, that's heavy. All right, where are we at? 30 minutes. I hate long videos. All right, let's see what other energies we can pull. I don't know. I'll post this one either. Let's see. Damn, somebody's in despair. False person is in despair. False person is in despair while the lovers are adjudicated. Bottom of the deck, pathway, courtship. So somebody over here that you were dealing with, I feel like as a false person, they're in despair because I think judgment, again, adjudication, I feel like adjudication is about, like somebody settling an argument or whatever, or settling a dispute. I kind of feel like you're moving away from maybe these false people and following your pathway towards a new courtship or just a new relationship, new cycle within the relationship. Yeah, you may have people around you, like in your family, like speculating. They may have expected you to fail. Oh, let's use this card. You may have family. Okay, this is a lot. So you may be pursuing a new pathway. You may have chosen a lover, chosen your lover over a false person, right? So the false person over here is in despair. You may have chosen to reconcile with a lover, to go towards a new pathway, right? You may have family or something here that is, I want to say, plotting on your relationship or having some type of expectation of your relationship failure. No, it's upside down. Travel. You may be traveling. You may have someone traveling to you, or you may be in the midst of getting ready to travel. Road trip. Self-discovery. New terrain. Home. I don't know. Maybe, are you considering moving? You may be considering moving. I think you're looking in new ways of you're looking into your heart, seeing the truth of the matter. You may have wealth coming towards you as well. Maybe this expectation, you may have family that's kind of expecting your wealth. They're like they're like in despair. Maybe you're getting ready to come into some wealth and they're waiting for it. Creativity. You may be very creative. Every time I see this card, I feel like you have the ability, collective, you have the ability to adapt to certain changes and conditions, right? Things around you that don't change. I feel like you have the ability to adapt to circumstances, environments around, however it's happening. I think that's why if people are looking at you salty, because you do have somebody up here that's salty. If somebody's looking at you salty, they're looking at you salty because you seem to have a creative way of navigating your life. And it almost looks like, I'm looking at these cards crazy. It's almost like somebody, like people are watching you and having an expectation of your failure. But you keep like swerving. Yeah, you keep swerving. You keep going after new heights. It's like you're being guided, right? You're being guided by spirit. And I feel like somebody, like whatever this is, somebody is watching you succeed and they don't understand how you're doing it. They don't understand your creativity. They don't understand how you're able to just kind of go with the flow. You may be an air sign or have strong air and earth placements. Rejection, accept this form of divine redirection. Rejection is always divine protection, no matter what. Spiral, introspect on how to break this repeating cycle. Abundance, recognize what you already have in order to manifest more. Growth, it's an experience meant to push your growth. Whatever you just dealt with, it was meant to push you to new heights. It was meant to make you grow. Star, you're being heard. Make a wish. All right, let's get a couple more before we wrap. Equal exchange. Make sure the energy exchange is equal from all sides. There are more layers to this than you're aware of. You should go the extra mile. Try to get a clear idea, a clear picture of where you're going, and release the situations that make you feel hostage. Didn't we say that before? That was out here before. Release the situations that make you feel hostage, because they're not serving your higher good anyway. Right? Okay. Let's grab a couple of Angel Answers cards. Messages for the collective. Get more information. You're ready. And look for a sign. All right, my loves, this concludes the reading. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope that this gives you what you were looking for. I hope it gives you some clarity. I don't know. The energy's been really weird for the last couple of weeks, and Mercury doesn't station direct until like what, June 3rd. So just continue to take things slow. I think for the most part, we're going to be still doing a lot of clearing of energies because we are in eclipse season. You know, as we release some of the old stuff, the more you release, the more room you make for the new experiences and the new stuff, right? Anywho, again, my name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie. If you'd like to book a personal, all that information is below. I've also linked all of my past episodes of the Love and Science channel in case there's my Love and Science show, in case there's anything that may be beneficial to you that you missed previously. All right. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I don't know when you're going to see this. This is timeless, but I mostly focused on the Mercury retrograde period and the eclipse energy. So I hope it hits when you get this. All right. Anywho, take care, and I'll see you next time.